With disheveled russet hair, not yet combed after sleep, the blue-eyed Polish princess ran downstairs to the mansion to check the mail. She was expecting a cherished letter from the Russian Emperor Alexander I. The sovereign's decision could fundamentally change her life. The fact is that she was hoping for adoption. Eliza Radziwill was born in 1803 in Berlin, in the family of Prince Anthony Henrik Radziwill and Princess Louise of Prussia, granddaughter of Prussian Prince William I. The marriage of Louise and Anthony Henrik turned out to be a happy one, despite the fact that it was unequal. After all, the Prussian princess could claim a much more enviable party, becoming the ruler of one of the kingdoms. But Louise of Prussia's feelings were stronger than family duty. She insisted on marrying Prince Radziwill, Prince Viceroy of the Principality of Poznan. The happy marriage produced 7 children, but not all lived to a ripe old age. One of them was Eliza Radziwill. Eliza received the appropriate education for a girl of her status, knew several languages, liked to muse and draw. Radziwill led their lineage from Lithuanian magnates, eventually reaching the title of princes. Barbara Radziwill contributed a lot to the promotion of the Radziwill family when she married the Polish king Sigismund II August. Barbara's siblings and cousins subsequently received princely titles. Legends about the untold wealth of the Radziwills were by no means an exaggeration. For several hundred years, they have accumulated such a fortune that even with all the desire, it was difficult to spend it. Over time, the Radziwills acquired real estate not only in the Polish-Lithuanian Commonwealth, but also in Russia, Germany, France, and Italy. The fame of their wealth and influence spread throughout Europe. The Radziwills began to be received with great honor at royal courts. The family of Anthony Radziwill and Louise of Prussia lived then in Poznan, then in Berlin. At one of the balls, 12-year-old Eliza Radziwill was asked to dance by 18-year-old Wilhelm Hohenzollern, the second son of Prussian King Frederick William III. Elise and William had known each other since early childhood. Their common ancestor was Friedrich Wilhelm I. But Eliza was too young and still not suitable in status for the role of bride to the Prussian prince. It was not until 2 years later that William was able to discern Eliza's beauty. She was indeed beautiful. She was compared then to a fairy, then to an angel, then to a white rose. In 1818, the Prussian prince was returning from St. Petersburg from the wedding of his sister Charlotte to the Russian Grand Duke Nicholas Pavlovich. On his way to Berlin, William stopped in Poznan, where he again met Princess Radziwill. This time he fell in love with Eliza, and his feelings were mutual. For the winter, Radziwill often moved to Berlin. Louise of Prussia kept her literary salon, which was famous for Polish hospitality. But it turned out that William of Prussia visits his aunt's salon not for the sake of talking about art or literature, but for the big blue eyes of his cousin Eliza. The lovers attended masquerades and soirees together. For the public, they were relatives, but the Berlin court had long suspected of a secret affair between their prince and the Polish princess. Eliza's parents did not prevent this relationship. Probably, they hoped that a marriage proposal would soon follow. After all, William was second in line to the throne, and Eliza was not a princess, and had family ties with the Hohenzollerns. Emperor Frederick William III, who wished his son a family happiness, did not hinder the lovers. The lovers spent all their free time together. Eliza and William walked through the forests, explored the ruins of castles. Together they rode along the valley of the Buber River and admired the picturesque views of the mountains located on the current border of Poland and the Czech Republic. But it turned out that not everyone at the Berlin court wanted to see his Princess Eliza Radziwill. The elites convinced the emperor that Princess Radziwill is not equal to the Prussian prince. In addition, the elder brother William has no children, so he is a potential heir to the throne. The Prussian court did not want a woman from the Radziwill family to become their empress. The emperor sided with his son. Frederick William III had the marriage examined by lawyers, to which they shook their heads disapprovingly. Yes, Eliza's mother, Louise of Prussia, a princess, but she gave up claims to her privileges combined unequal marriage with Prince Radziwill. The title of prince, though high, has no relation to the ruling and royal family. Prince William could not believe his eyes. The results of the legal examination said that the marriage was impossible. In addition, Princess Charlotte, who received the name of Alexandra Fyodorovna in Russia, persuaded her brother to marry a real German princess. For the sake of the state and the future of Prussia, he had to voluntarily give up his marriage to a Polish princess. In 1822, William's final hope was shattered by his father Frederick William III. The state was above personal feelings, and William obeyed. He loved Eliza, but he was not about to give up the throne and renounce his family. The Prussian prince notified his beloved of the impossibility of marriage, assuring her of eternal friendship. Eliza was upset, but did not persuade William. They continued their social correspondence, occasionally meeting at balls in Berlin. William could not forget Eliza. He wanted to marry her, and since she was not equal to him in status, it was necessary that she became a princess. William again and again ordered examinations of the Radziwill and Hohenzollern family tree. His older brother's father had married a Catholic Bavarian princess, who William found out during his research was a direct descendant of Prince Bohuslav Radziwill. Wilhelm wanted to prove to the world that Elise was worthy of being a Prussian princess. In opposition to William, Prince Wittgenstein ordered his own examinations, proving the opposite, that the Radziwills had no place in the royal family. Finally, the Prussian prince asked the childless Emperor Alexander I to adopt Eliza. The Russian imperial family was not a stranger to the Prussian prince. If Eliza became a Russian Grand Duchess, she would be able to marry the Prussian prince. Alexander I promised to think about it. However, the welfare of his country and dynasty was more important than love. In his letter, he regretfully abandoned the idea. Becoming Grand Duchess Eliza could bring confusion to the Romanov house. After all, after Alexander I, the throne would pass to his brother Constantine, and after Nicholas Pavlovich. In this chain, Eliza would be superfluous. In the end, for the sake of love, Konstantin Pavlovich also married a Polish woman, not of royal blood, giving up his rights to the throne. William wanted the throne and Eliza. Prince August of Prussia, Eliza's uncle, intervened. Augustus was the richest landowner in Prussia, and his opinion was considered by the royal family. With some reluctance, but he agreed to adopt Eliza. His 11 illegitimate children were probably a bit resentful. And in general, the case took a favorable turn, although many believed that the adoption would not change anything. It is worth noting that at one time Napoleon Bonaparte also adopted Hortense and Stéphanie Beauharnais, giving them the title of imperial princesses. And there was no problem. Meanwhile, William I's younger brother Prince Charles was about to marry Princess Maria Louise Alexandrine of Saxe-Weimar-Eisenach, daughter of Grand Duke Karl Friedrich Wilhelm of Saxe-Weimar-Eisenach and Grand Duchess Maria Pavlovna, daughter of Paul I. And Maria Pavlovna put an end to William and Eliza's love story. She said she would give Maria Louisa in marriage to Charles of Prussia if her other daughter Augusta married William of Prussia, and he abandoned his marriage plans to Eliza Radziwill. Prussian King Frederick William III was forced to agree to Maria Pavlovna's terms. After all, but she offers Prussia her 2 daughters, legitimate princesses, granddaughters of Paul I. And the political connection with the Russian Empire was much more favorable than with the family Radziwill. The unhappy prince obeyed his father's will. William refused to marry Eliza, choosing duty to his family. On June 11, 1829, he married Princess Augusta of Saxe-Weimar-Eisenach. The marriage turned out to be an unhappy one. Augusta was aware of her husband's unhappy love for the Polish princess, but filled herself with hope that the prince can forget his love. She hoped to outshine her, believing that she had a better pedigree, education, and manners. Augusta was clever beyond her years. At the age of 21, she was distinguished by maturity, virility, liked to discuss politics at length. William Prussian complained in letters to his sister that Augusta is not feminine enough, shows restraint in feelings, that despite her intelligence and efforts, she cannot warm his heart. A couple of months after the marriage, William Prussian began to spend time in the company of favorites. Only out of a sense of duty, as he had been told all his life, William visited his wife at night. Everyone needed an heir. In 1831, Augusta gave birth to the future Emperor Frederick II, and 7 more years later, a daughter was born. Further, Augusta pursued only miscarriages, and Eliza remained faithful to her first love. Having more freedom to choose her life partner, she rejected the marriage proposal of the Duke of Sweden and then broke off her engagement to Prince Frederick of Schwarzenberg. Eliza and William last saw each other in 1829, and after Radziwill lived more in Poznan, staying away from the Berlin court. In addition, the Radziwill had a black streak. First, in 1827, died of tuberculosis Ferdinand Radziwill, brother of Eliza. 3 months later, Helena, wife of another brother, William Radziwill, died. In 1833, Eliza's father was removed from the administration of the Grand Duchy of Poznan, and in the same year, Antony Radziwill died of tuberculosis in Berlin. While caring for the spores of the family, Eliza also fell ill. She died of tuberculosis in 1834 at the age of 30. William Prussian, with pain in his soul, took the news of the death of his beloved. Until the end of his days, he kept a miniature of her portrait on his desk. During World War II, the movie Prussian Love Story, made about the love between Polish Princess Eliza Radziwill and Prussian Prince William, was banned from theaters by Nazi propaganda. Augusta of Weimar realized that she had lost the rivalry for William's heart. She fell into a manic depression. After the death of her older brother William in 1861, he and Augusta ascended to the throne, and 10 years later, as a result of the Franco-Prussian War, William and Augusta were to be called as Emperor and Empress. In 1888, William I died at the age of 90. He wrote to his sister in St. Petersburg that true love comes only once in a lifetime.